Hey guys, it's Paul here from Blossom. This is my YouTube channel, Better Call Paul. Today we are going to have our second Battle Royale as requested by a subscriber who watched my last Battle Royale. So, for anybody who is not aware of Blossom Social, I always say that I'm from Blossom. I don't work for Blossom, but I'm an active participant on Blossom. I will put a link in the description below and in the first comment for anybody who wants to join. It's free to join. It's great if you're interested in learning more about investing, if you want to share your portfolio, your thoughts, or just talk to other people who are into investing as much as we are. Anyways, guys, today we are going to have a Canadian ETF company taking on a US company. And this is going to be fun, I think. There's similar products, but, well, obviously one's from the States and one's from Canada, and they're run a little bit differently. So let's just take a look and see what the differences are. If you're American, I don't think you have access to the Canadian one, but if you're Canadian, you can choose between which one you want to hold. All right, everybody. So here we are. We're looking at Harvest ETFs versus Yieldmax ETFs. So the ticker for the Harvest Fund is HHIS, and the ticker for Yieldmax is YMAX. They are both a fund of funds. HHIS holds 15 single stock ETFs, and you can go on their website and see what they hold. But basically all the hottest tech companies at the moment, plus Eli Lilly and Costco. But in there, you're going to find like Tesla, Palantir, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, etc. Same for YMAX, but YMAX has, I believe, closer to maybe 50 underlying positions. So there's a lot there. But again, you can go on their website and you can see which companies they hold. Now, YMAX was its inception date, January 16th, 2024. So it came out a whole year before HHIS, which came out in 2025. And I guess you could say that Harvest copied Yieldmax in this fund. However, there are a lot of differences, and they've kind of done it their own way. And in some ways, I think they're doing it better. So the launch price for Harvest HHIS was $12, and for YMAX was $20. Currently, the price of HHIS, and this was earlier today while I was putting together the spreadsheet, was $13.01, and for YMAX was $12.78. Now, Harvest uses an active covered call strategy, okay, and YMAX uses a synthetic covered call strategy, which is a little bit more complicated and adds a bit of risk to the fund. I'm going to move this up. So percentage-wise, what percent of the portfolio are they writing calls on? So Harvest will go up to 50%. So that means anything they're not writing calls on, you have the possibility of capturing upside. So when the stocks are going up in price, you will capture some of that. Now, YMAX is writing 100% of the portfolio. And you can see here on the side, I put some notes. So each of the underlying ETFs uses a synthetic covered call strategy. They create exposure to the underlying stock via swaps, not by holding the stock. And then they sell call options on 100% of that synthetic exposure. Okay, now in terms of leverage, it's very popular in Canada to have about 25% leverage on a fund. They call that minimum leverage. Anyways, yeah, 25% leverage is not a lot, but it does boost the yield to kind of help make up for the lag that some covered call ETFs experience due to the call writing, right? Limits your upside. Whereas YMAX is not using any leverage. Management fee for HHIS is 0%. Now, that just means they're not adding an additional fee, right? The 15 underlying ETFs all have a 40 basis point management fee. So they're not adding any additional fees. YMAX has a 29% 0.29% management fee, so 29 basis points. There are other fees involved in running these funds, borrowing cost and other just fees of running the fund. So you can find that on their websites as well. Distribution, you're going to get 25 cents from HHIS. So far, it's been consistent. It hasn't changed. On the other hand, YMAX last week was 11 cents, just under 11 cents, and this week will be something different. Distribution frequency for HHIS is monthly, whereas for YMAX is weekly. Risk tolerance, you're looking at medium to high for HHIS and high to very high for YMAX. Now, YMAX, since inception, because it's been out for more than a year, they can give you the cumulative return is 39%, and annualized it's 22.6%. I just looked today on Wealthsimple, and it said in the past 3 months it's down 5.41%, but that's just in share price, so that's not including all the weekly distributions. HHIS, the 1 year total return, price plus income, right now it's sitting at 18.7%, and that's for the 8 distributions or the 8 months it's been around since January to September. So I also looked at the past 3 months, and it was sitting at 12.34%. That's share price. So it has gone up in the last 3 months. So it's doing well at the moment. So guys, what would I say about these two ETFs, whether you should own them or not own them? First of all, if you live in the States, then YMAX is your only choice, your only option out of these two. But there are a lot of other options nowadays. You have ETFs that pay you can get them to pay 7 days a week, not 7 days a week, sorry. You can get ones like MAGY that pay on Monday. I think Roundhill pays on Tuesday. There's a Wednesday payer. So if you want, you can find an ETF that will pay just about every day of the week, not only on Fridays. But if you're considering YMAX, it has actually done well, even though it seems as though the price has eroded. If you factor in all the distributions it's paid, it has done well. And it seems like once it hit about that $12, $13 mark, it's kind of leveled off. It hasn't really dropped as much. But keep in mind that these are volatile products. And if you're going to buy YMAX, I would recommend to keep it, anywhere from maybe 1 to 3% of your portfolio, maybe as high as 5%. But other than that, I would diversify. There's lots of other ETFs that you can buy. For Canadians, if you don't already own YMAX, I think HHIS is probably the better option. You don't have to worry about conversion fees. You can hold it in your tax-free savings account without paying the withholding tax. The other option I would say is to hold both. If you want to have some YMAX in your RSP and HHIS in your non-registered account or your TFSA, then you could hold both of them. And that's what I'm currently doing. Of course, I started buying YMAX before HHIS was available. So, at the time, that wasn't an option. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this battle. I'm definitely going to do more of them. It's a lot of fun for me to go through and just find the statistics. Guys, if you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, and please leave comments below. I love reading the comments, and I try to reply to as many as possible. All right, everybody, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.